Now, this is the latest that we're getting with respect to the meeting that Amit Shah will be holding in order to review the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the Army Chief Manoj Pandey has, in fact, reached the North Block in the national capital for this crucial MHA meet. Now, the rise in the targeted killings in Jammu and Kashmir has forced some Kashmiri Pandits and migrant families to flee the valley. Now, in the latest, the Kashmiri Pandits have written to the Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh seeking urgent intervention into the matter. They have been demanding a safe environment amid fears and security concerns. Here are some of the reactions.
क्या वजह थी कि आप छोड़ के आगे?
सर, वहाँ पे काम करना इतना मुश्किल नहीं है इंसान के लिए, लेकिन जो वहाँ के लोग हैं, जैसे कि कुछ लोग जो वहाँ के लोकल्स हैं वो आपके लिए अच्छे हैं, बट आप ये भरोसा नहीं कर सकते हैं कि पीठ पीछे आके आपको कोई भी गोली मार के वहाँ से जा सकता है। आपने इतने अभी हालात देख लिए हैं। पहले तो ऐसा होता था कि सड़कों पे मारा जाता था, आज का टाइम ऐसा हो गया कि ऑफिस के अंदर घुस के मारा जा रहा है। मैं खुद रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट में हूँ और आप खुद देख रहे हैं कि तहसील के अंदर घुस के राहुल जी को गोली मारी गई है, वो भी मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने। तो हम वहाँ पर अपनी कैसे एश्योरेंस ले सकते हैं गवर्नमेंट से कि हमें गोली नहीं मारी जाएगी कल को?
कितना कंसर्न थे आप अपने साथ साथ अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए?
बहुत ज़्यादा सर, वहाँ पे इतना डर लग रहा था कि पिछले 3-4 दिन से जब हम वहाँ थे तो हम बिल्कुल बाहर नहीं निकल रहे थे वहाँ पे, क्योंकि हमारी फैमिली भी डर रही थी कि क्या पता हमें कहीं वहीं पे गोली ना मार दी जाए पीछे से।
सर, जब आप निकल कर आए तो सरकार की तरफ से आपको रोकने की कोशिश हुई, कहीं सुरक्षा बल आपको रोक रहे थे?
जी बिल्कुल, वहाँ पे हमें रोका जा रहा था, बोला जा रहा था कि अभी आप यहाँ से ना जाइए।
30 से 40 फैमिलीज़ तो यहाँ ही आ चुकी है कल से अभी तक, और अभी बहुत सारी फैमिली ऑन द वे हैं। इन सब फैमिलीज़ को अभी ये मालूम है कि हम वहाँ पर सेफ़ नहीं है कश्मीर में। सरकार तो इतने टाइम से एश्योरेंस दे ही रही है, इसके अलावा तो और तो कुछ वो कर नहीं रही है ऑन ग्राउंड। तो जान तो जा रही है वो कश्मीरी पंडित या वहाँ के जो अदर माइनॉरिटीज़ हैं, इनकी जान जा रही है। जो हमारे टॉप ब्यूरोक्रेट्स हैं, इनके बच्चों की तो जान नहीं जा रही है, इसलिए ये सिर्फ एश्योरेंस ही दे रहे हैं।
श्रीनगर से निकल चुके हैं, पलायन कर चुके हैं। हमारे बहुत सारे भाई लोग हैं। हम नेशनल हाईवे में अभी रामबन पहुंचे हैं और बहुत जल्दी हम लोग जम्मू पहुंच जाएंगे। हाँ, ये देखिए हमारे साथ हमारे भाई लोग हैं, बहुत सारे लोग हैं हमारे साथ जो कश्मीर से पलायन कर चुके हैं और जम्मू की तरफ रवाना हो गए हैं।
Now, amid a spate of targeted killings in Jammu and Kashmir, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has met the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha. Now, this comes just ahead of the high-level meeting, which will be chaired by the Union Home Minister in order to review the security of the valley. Now, this meeting, in fact, is just about to begin anytime soon, and we're also been given to understand that the Army Chief has also reached the MHA office, as well as Ajit Doval, the National Security Advisor, has also reached Amit Shah's office. Now, all of them will be sitting together in order to figure out the strategy on how to contain the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this is the latest that we're getting. Back-to-back meetings come in the backdrop of migrant labourer who has been shot dead in central Kashmir's Budgam yesterday. Now, this incident came just hours after a bank manager from Rajasthan was gunned down in Kulgam. Now, there have been 3 targeted killings in the last 3 days alone. All right, we're being joined on the broadcast by SP with the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir in order to discuss and deliberate more on this issue. Sir, thank you so much for joining us here on Mirror Now. I want to ask you that what do you think the government should do, because this is a sort of a dilemma. And the reason why I ask you that is because if they shift the community out of Kashmir, then they're literally playing into the hands of the terrorists, because that's what they want. But at the same time, if they don't, then, innocent lives, people continue to die. So in that situation, what do you think that the government should be doing?
The first thing government needs to do is to ensure that these people are shifted to secure areas. They have a secure accommodation. They have a posting or an office which is protected, where there is no one with a weapon is able to enter without frisking or without checking of the security personnel. Similarly, the transport part between his place of stay to place of work, we used to do it for secretariat employees. A similar thing could be done, that they are transported under proper escort. So these measures need to be immediately taken. I think the first priority should be to ensure that there are no more killings of Kashmiri Pandits and outsiders. As far as laborers are concerned, local people have more stakes in labor staying in Kashmir, because in Kashmir, everyone depends on outside labor, and if labor runs away from Kashmir, their life will become hell. So put the stakes in the local community. I think that would be the best security. They will ensure that such people who are targeting labor also get targeted by security forces. Number 3, yes, shifting them to Jammu would be playing in the hands of terrorists and the deep state handlers across. But then instead of getting them killed, if we can't protect them, I see nothing wrong in temporarily shifting them to even Jammu, because priority should be that there is no more killing. That is the number 1 priority. And as far as punches and sarpanches and policemen are concerned, I think those who are protected persons, do's and don'ts from the security wing is already there. That needs to be followed. So I don't think if we follow all those instructions, there would be any chance for terrorists to target such person. So another thing which needs to be done is we need to shore up our intelligence. We need to make officers accountable. The concerned SHO and the district SP and subdivisional police officer need to be made accountable. The DM needs to be made accountable. If something happens in the area, they cannot stay there. Then they have to be made accountable and shifted. So let this sense of responsibility, sense of accountability also brought in. Now, take the case of the bank manager. Why the hell are you posting him to a remote area in Kulgam where minorities are being targeted? Who's his senior who's posting such a person in such a place? Why should he not be made one of the accused in his murder? Similarly, that girl of Samba who was teacher there in Kulgam, she was fearing that she would be killed. She requested her chief education officer. Why should he not be made accountable? Everything has not to be done by Lieutenant Governor. Every officer at every level has to do his bit. I think time has come for accountability and fixing responsibility. And something is amiss in the intelligence of local police. Something is amiss in the intelligence of this in state CID and intelligence bureau. I think these small groups of 2-3 boys, whatever number these boys are moving with small weapons like pistols, I think the local community and local people must be knowing about it. And a good liaison with the local people will get intelligence and get them eliminated.
So, sir, you've been the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, and you mentioned a couple of things that you've done when, you were at that position. And we've also seen how the Kashmiri Pandits there for about 10 to 15 days, they have been constantly saying that the government is, not listening to them. They've resorted to blocking highways. They're out on the streets protesting. And now they've finally said that, we have no other choice because nobody's coming to our rescue. And the only option that we have is to, save ourselves, and by the way of mass migration. So it's literally come down to that.
I have all the sympathies with Kashmiri Pandits. I don't think they have been handled by the local administration in a mature manner. You can't lock their doors and ask them, you cannot leave your campus. That is not the way. Somebody should be in talks with them. Somebody should be assuring them. You can't lock the employees and ask them not, you cannot go. I think that was a bad part. The handling of Kashmiri Pandits was not proper.
Right. And so in your experience, what do you think will be the government's strategy when, they reach out to the Kashmiris? We know that a meeting with the Union Home Minister is currently underway. We also know that the NSA is there, the Jammu and Kashmir L-G is there. So what do you think is, most likely going to be the strategy?
I think they will discuss all the threat posed by these hybrid terrorism, the new plan of the ISI for last 6-7 months, and target killing which are going on. I think the Honorable Union Home Minister and National Security Advisor would be discussing with the Lieutenant Governor and other team of officers how to counter this. I think some brainstorming will take place, and I think some solution will come out, and what would be the strategy of the administration in the days to come. That would be a very positive outcome of today's meeting.
Right. So two big suggestions coming from you, sir. One is to increase the protection in government services, and the other is to shore up, of course, the intelligence as well as fix accountability. So you've made some very important points there, and we will see what comes out of that meeting. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mirror Now. It's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you.
All right, I'd also like to go across to my colleague Pradeep, who is been non-stop reporting on this issue. Pradeep, what is the situation on ground there? What is the latest that you can tell us? Now, we know that the meeting is currently underway. We'll, of course, have to wait and watch what comes out of that meeting. But with respect to the whole migration issue, what is the latest that's going on there?
Yes, you rightly said this is a very crucial meeting that is being chaired by Home Minister Amit Shah, and all eyes are on this meeting. So everybody is trying to find out what exactly will be the outcome of this meeting. But so far as the employees are concerned, and for the last 3 days, we have seen that the employees are protesting, and their only one demand is we want transfer to our home district. Sir, there are two categories of employees. One is they come under the Prime Minister package, and these are the inter-district employees. They are the reserve country category employees. And see, you can see they're holding picture of Rajni Bala, teacher. 4 days back, she was killed inside school, high school in Gopalpura, while she was teaching inside the classroom. And that was the time when terrorists barged in, they opened fire on point blank range, and she died on spot. And since then, we have seen that there is a fear psychosis that has gripped that area. Many of the employees have already migrated. I think that that same story of ethnic cleansing, genocide and horror that started in 90s, that continues even today. And even today we have seen that how they continue with the targeted killing. Let's speak to some of these employees and find out what exactly they want. देखिए इस समय मीटिंग चल रही है. मीटिंग में आपका क्या आग्रह है? What you really want to say to Home Minister? क्या चाहते क्या हैं?
सर, हम होम मिनिस्टर से अपनी हाई कमांड जो अथॉरिटी से हम यही डिमांड करना चाहते हैं कि हमें जहां से इमीडिएट ट्रांसफ़र किया जाए.
तो अगर आपको सुरक्षा प्रोवाइड की जाती है, अगर आपको कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग मेजर्स के लिए कुछ स्टेप लिए जाते हैं, तब भी आप वादी में नहीं रुकना चाहेंगे?
सर, हमने 15 साल वहाँ सर्व किया है, तो तब कोई सुरक्षा नहीं थी. विदाउट सुरक्षा से हमने काम किया. अब जब हमारी बहन रजनी बाला की डेथ होती है तो हम सब डरे हुए हैं. साइकोलॉजिकली हम एक किस्म के बीमार हो गए हैं. तो अब हम वहाँ पे जाना नहीं चाहते. हमारी यही रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमें वहाँ जल्दी से जल्दी ट्रांसफ़र किया जाए अपने होम डिस्ट्रिक्ट में. हमारे माँ बाप बूढ़े हो गए हैं. वो जब हम जाते हैं तो वो पीछे से रोते हैं, डर के वो सूख गए हैं. हमारे बच्चे जो हैं वो उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कौन लेगा?
There's a lot of psychological stress working in such a condition when they are living under the shadow of terrorist guns. Let me talk to more employees. क्या कहना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि मीटिंग चल रही है, अगर ज़्यादा कंपनीज डिप्लॉय की जाती हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन को वेल इक्विप किया जाता है, इंटेलिजेंस नेटवर्क को इम्प्रूव किया जाता है, तब भी आप कहेंगे यही बात जो अभी कह रहे हैं?
सर, वो करेंगे, हमें मतलब दे देंगे सिक्योरिटी. मार्केट जाना है, बच्चे हैं हमारे, उनको स्कूल में भेजना है. कुछ ना कुछ रास्ते में इतनी सिक्योरिटी तो नहीं प्रोवाइड करेंगे कि हर एक बंदे को इंडिविजुअली सिक्योर करेंगे. वो हमारी डिमांड यही है, सिक्योरिटी वगैरह कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि जो लास्ट टाइम जो 3-4 किलिंग हुई हैं वो अंडर सिक्योरिटी ही थे. हमारी डिमांड फाइनल यही है कि हमें ट्रांसफ़र जम्मू किया जाए और बार बार हम उनसे यही कहेंगे कि हमें धरने देने का शौक़ नहीं है कोई भी, ना तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि हम इकट्ठे होके कोई मतलब ऐसा माहौल बने जिससे कि लोगों में मतलब गलत मैसेज आए। हमें वो कहीं एडजस्ट करें, यहाँ पे हमसे ड्यूटी ले और हमें थोड़ा बिजी करें, ना कि हमें ऐसे कामों में करना पड़े जिससे हम उनके खिलाफ हो जाए।
So they are saying that we are not interested in protest demonstration. We really want to work, but we want to work in Jammu region because it's not easy for us to work in Kashmir Valley. Off and on, we have seen that how the terrorists are picking up their targets, killing them, generating fear psychosis at a time when Amarnath pilgrimage is also around the corner. So they say that there are chances that they will go for more such killings. So that's one of the reasons that these employees are asking for proper security here in Jammu. They feel that Jammu is a safer and secure zone right now for them. It will not be easy for the government to provide security to each and every employee because it's not only about going to office, but it's also about going to the grocery shop. It's also about taking their kids to schools. So there are a lot many things involved in that. And the second thing, they are saying that if Rahul Bhatt, who was posted in SDM office at any given point of time, there are security force personnel deployed. If terrorists can barge inside that Tahsildar's office, they can kill Rahul Bhatt there, identify him, and after that they kill him. They can kill and target any person anytime, and they had been doing it. So they feel the government have to take some decision in this regard because they don't want to be sacrificial lamb for them. So they want, though it's going to be a big setback for the government, because reason being, because government always wanted proper integration of the Kashmiri Hindus and other employees from the Jammu region. They wanted to take them to Kashmir Valley. Idea behind this employment package was they wanted to integrate them. They wanted to resettle them. They wanted to rehabilitate them. And they wanted to further lay the foundation stone for the return of other Kashmiri Hindus also. But once these employees start coming, it is going to be a setback. That's one of the reasons that the government is preventing them from moving out of Kashmir Valley. Some of them had managed to come here, but many others are struggling to come. But they are saying that we can't be held hostage to what exactly is happening. You can't cage us because to demonstrate is our right and you can't block our demonstration. We are the peaceful patriotic committee, so the government will have to look into all these aspects because they too have a genuine demand. Because no doubt there is a problem. There is a problem because we have seen, first it was Rahul Bhatt, we saw then Rajni Bala, then we saw the manager, then we saw even they did not spare those laborers. One of them succumbed to his injury, other is battling for life. That clearly shows that this is basically the evil design of these terrorists. They want to target Hindus, they want to target Hindustanis because they do not want to see their footsteps. And when Amarnath pilgrimage is around the corner, they want to further generate fear psychosis because they do not want to see more and more pilgrims coming out to this place. They want to run with that exclusivist caliphate agenda of one particular community staying there. What they started in 90s, that was Nizam-e-Mustafa.
Right, Pradeep, some very important points that, you know, the Kashmiri Pandits, the community there is making, people that you've spoken to, and some very practical concerns also that they're raising, and very adamant on their demand that the only thing that they will be satisfied with is relocation. So that is something that we will have to keep an eye on what happens. For the moment, thank you so much for joining us. And this is the latest that I want to bring to our viewers, that the Jammu and Kashmir killings, the Amit Shah there, the Union Home Minister, is currently chairing the high-level meeting as we speak. Now, that meeting is currently underway. It has begun. Now, remember, this meeting is to review the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir. And this, of course, comes in the backdrop of a number of civilians who have been killed, targeted by the terrorists in the region. And present in this meeting is NSA Ajit Doval, Army Chief General Manoj Pandey, and the Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Now, also present there is the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. Now, this meeting, we will have to wait and watch what decision the government takes, what are the kind of steps and measures they will be implementing in order to make this community feel safe in that region. Now, meanwhile, politics continues to escalate over the rise in targeted killings in Jammu and Kashmir, while the Congress has lashed out at the centre, alleging massive security lapses in the valley. BJP has hit back, questioning why Gupkar leaders are silent on this entire issue.